Hi, welcome back. This is Dr. Copeland, and this is part 5 on high frequency nutrition. We're going over all of the food choices that you have so that you don't feel like you're going to starve to death, and you certainly will not. I've gained weight actually when I eat right, but I have lost a tremendous amount of weight, and then I got way down because I felt like I was starving to death. And I started figuring out, what to get rid of and what worked and what didn't work, and actually started putting a little bit of weight back on. And I'm a perfect size 10 to size 8 right now, and I'm very happy with that. I just wish I had a little more strength, but I'm almost 70 years old, and I've done a lot of lifting and a lot of working out and been pretty physically active most of my life. So I'm good. I'm good with that. I'd like to be a little bit better, and as soon as all this book and everything is published, we're going to work on that. It's just a matter of finding the time to pull it off. All right, so part 5 on high frequency nutrition is about berries. So berries are, your blueberries, your raspberries, marionberries, huckleberries, strawberries, cranberries. They're small little berries, but they're really high in antioxidants. And so if you need your nutrition and you need high nutrition, high dense nutrition, go berries. Okay, so I live with blueberries, and they're always organic. These are probably on their last day. It says Townsend Farms, product of the USA. Wash all fresh fruits and vegetables prior to eating. Why do you think that is? Because they're organic. They're grown. There are blowovers in every field, in every garden. And maybe your neighbor is spraying pesticides or put fertilizer spray. When I drove into a town the other day, there was a crop duster flying right over a field of hay. So I'm sure not all of it landed right on that crop. Some of it, if there's a garden nearby, got sprayed. So you need to know where you're at, take into account the area. I can see that sometimes in this country we're going to have to become a little obsessive compulsive about what we eat and where we grow. And I remember years ago I watched the show Portlanders, and there was a segment on there where they knew where the chicken came from, what farm, what it had, what time of day it ate, who its parents were, and its offspring, and they all had a name. And that's how much information they had at the table before they ordered the chicken. So, not that I think we're all going to go there, but I think we need a little bit more contemplation and consideration in our food choices before we make them. Number 1, read the label. Number 2, buy it organic to begin with. Number 3, buy it in the season that it's grown, that it's harvested. Asparagus in the spring, when it's coming and sprouting, is divine. Asparagus toward fall, it's a little chewy and strawish, and it's not as tender. Okay, so with that being said, the season that it's grown, it's more of a macrobiotic approach. There's a word you might want to look up and research. It's the season that things come into maturity. It's also things that are grown in your neighborhood, in your climate zone. And when they're harvested, that's the best time to eat them. Okay, so that there's never a need to preserve, freeze, store, because those things just raise the risk of the fruit itself, or the berries, or the vegetables. Okay, so if we can always eat fresher in the season it's grown, in the region it's grown, we're going to acclimate our bodies to that zone. We're not going to have the stressful fluctuations that you do when you travel. And for me, traveling, I so enjoy it. I love it, love it, love it, love it, love it. But it is stressful because in every climate zone, there's something else. And it's usually a surprise to my body. Ooh, we haven't had this in a long time. Wow. And I have some kind of a reaction to it, even if I'm not allergic to it, because my body's that sensitive now. So, berries, I love them, love them, love them. I want every house in America to have a blueberry plant in their backyard. I just do. I just think that having blueberries, I think a blueberry could save the world. I just love blueberries. I love them. I love raspberries too, but you know that little bitty tiny seed thing in them? Yeah, it always gets right here in this tooth right there. So other than the seed aspect of the raspberry, raspberries would be my favorite, but I don't like that seed part. So blueberries won my competition for which berry is the best berry. I love blueberries. And in other cultures and other countries, there are other berries that are really well known for healing properties and having medicinal effects that help certain illnesses, like helps the flu, or it helps your immune system, boost your immune system. I remember there's a lot of naturopaths that were involved in some of the companies where the juice of the berries was the number one ingredient, and then they were preserving and packaging and shipping those products all over the world. And those were really good products, really good berries. I mean, they were just really, really good. A blueberry and a raspberry, you can always eat them fresh. Always eat them fresh. Always find them organic. Wash them, wash them, wash them before you eat them. I don't care how much the package says pre-washed, ready to eat. Don't believe them. Do it again. Be mindful of that. You know, it's like I tell my students when they are setting up a massage room or an aesthetics room, do not assume that somebody with a lot of germs has not sneezed in here. Do not think that the cleaning lady didn't lay down and take a nap on the facial bed. Okay? Clean it when you leave and clean it when you arrive. Sanitize, sanitize, sanitize. You cannot sanitize enough. And especially your food. You are putting that in your body. I use a light Brog apple cider vinegar, just a spray. And I'll spray on my groceries when I get them home, put them in a bowl, let them soak for 5 to 10 minutes while I'm putting away everything else. I come back and rinse them, put them in a strainer, jiggle all the extra water out of them, and rinse them, rinse them, rinse them until they feel like there's no more apple cider vinegar on them. And so with that being said, that's how I'll package them and put them in the refrigerator or put them on the shelf and keep them like that until they're ready to be eaten. The only thing I don't do that with is a banana. That peel comes off completely. And sometimes I don't do it with oranges, but I still wash them before I peel them because I don't know who touched it. And that can be very upsetting to my mind and my heart. And I just need to be careful. I need to be careful because my immune system doesn't tolerate much. That's why I've been in such a hurry to get all this work done, to get it prepared. Because one, I don't know how much time I have left. And two, I really want to build the education and the awareness and the speaking voices of people who have autoimmune challenges like I do around food. And hopefully, maybe long after I'm gone, they'll look back on these videos and say, that old lady knew something. She was telling us what to do all along. We should have listened. Yeah. Don't let it be that story. Don't let it be that story. Be proactive. Advocate for yourself. Wash your food. Preserve it for yourself, because it's not about a conspiracy. Pesticides are meant to kill things, bugs. And silicone, as in silicone breast implants, is meant to kill cockroaches. And yet they put that in women's bodies. And there's just a lot of things that does not make sense. So hopefully by watching these videos, you learn to question everything in food that is coming at you. Learn to make better choices. Learn to take charge and grow your own food so that you know what's happening to it. You know its history. You know its DNA. Pray over your food. Bless it. Charge it with love. Give it your thanks, your gratitude, because that fruit is serving your body. It's giving you energy. It's giving you high frequency energy if it's pure and according to this system that we're talking about today. Now, I'm going to add to this one some additional items to keep on hand for flavoring some of your foods, because sometimes a lot of flavors and condiments that I used to have had a lot of high fructose corn syrup in them. And so chocolate was something that had a lot of dairy in it. And I can't have that. So stay away from spices or spice mixes in bulk containers larger than a few ounces, because they require preservatives, MSGs, carrageenan, which is the thickener, and are frequently tainted with gluten or corn starches and other gluten sources. I've even heard of a company that takes wheat flakes and flavors them to whatever flavor they want to sell. Now, to me, that's criminal. That's criminal. Don't sell me wheat when I'm expecting to get pepper or chili flakes. Don't do that. All right, so coconut flakes is something that's wonderful to add flour. Coconut flour I love, and coconut sugar is very good as well. I know coconut water is really good for hydrating you, high in electrolytes, high alkaline, high nutrient levels. It's kept pure. So with that being said, look for your resources. Make sure it's not contaminated with high fructose corn syrup. Why in God's name would they do that anyway? Chocolate. I love cacao. I like even saying the word cacao, cacao, cacao. I drive my daughter crazy. And 70% or higher, and no milk in it. I just buy the powdered cacao. It's quite expensive. And I'll put it in with my own gluten-free cookie mix that I make. And so I have a chocolate cookie. Or I'll put it in my almond milk, and I can have chocolate milk. There's all kinds of creative things, and my mind just went blank. I apologize. That you can have. Now there is some this next one, some controversy, and I want you to make this choice for yourself. But it's gluten-free oatmeal. There is a label out there called Bob's Red Mill. It's readily available. I think it cooks well, it tastes well, it prepares well. Some gluten sensitive or celiac people cannot handle oats. Some can. But in all honesty, oats are a grain. And oats may be gluten-free, but what were they grown with? Were they grown with pesticides? Were they grown with fertilizers? And were they GMO'd? Was the seed injected an antibiotic? So looking into the conditions of the growing is really important. And generally, you can go to company manufacturers' websites, and there'll be information on there. If not, call the boss, call the president of the company, find out. If they can't tell you the source and tell you if it's GMO, tell you if there's preservatives, fertilizers, pesticides grown on the crops, avoid it. It's not worth the risk. Couple of nights ago, I had a taco, and I had found this cheese that I had never tried, and I read the label. I'm in a new store, read the label, and it had potato starch, and it had nothing else that I could see. No dairy, gluten-free, non-GMO, all my favorite words, right? So I bought it. Well, and I was so delighted. I had a couple little pinches. I did it very gingerly, because sometimes a non-dairy cheese can be kind of tangy, and I don't like that taste. I want more of a creamy, buttery texture with my cheese. And so I just did a few little sprigs, and then when I tasted it, I felt something on my tongue, right in here, and it gets sore. And I'm like, okay. So what could it be? And it wasn't the sati tortilla. I've never had a reaction to those. It wasn't the grass-fed 93% lean beef. It wasn't the organic onion. What was going on? And the only thing I had done different was put that cheese on there. I immediately got back up, reread that package, and sure enough, I found the word buried cornstarch. I was so mad. So with that being said, obviously I didn't finish the taco. I picked everything off of it and then, ate what was left. But my tongue got sore. I could feel a nodule in my throat swelling up. And of course, I gave the cheese to somebody who could enjoy it. And now it's not me, obviously. I do not enjoy feeling bad. I do not enjoy my body giving me signals that are out of pain. When my tongue hurts, that's pain. That's uncomfortableness. I don't like that. I'm not okay with that. On any level, it doesn't need to be in my life. when my throat swells and I can't talk and I can't breathe. I don't want to live like that. So I show up for myself to give myself the best of the best in food, in clothing, in my hair, my cosmetic, everything I do, I find the best of the best. High standards. I want organic. I want purity. I want integrity in what I'm eating, because those are all the elements that I want to give forth from myself, from my heart. My integrity, high standards, purity. Okay, organic, natural. I want that energy to come out of me. So that's the energy, the frequency that I put in. I don't eat processed food. I don't eat fast food. I don't eat junk food. I don't eat anything fried in vegetable oil or corn oil or whatever. So with all that being said, I hope you will enjoy the book, the class, the certification. I hope it serves you for a long, long time. There are a couple of flavors that you can find and make. One would be vanilla. Find a source for that that is non-alcohol. I think I had Mad Dog vanilla one time, and that was wonderful. I found it in it was alcohol free. I found it in a health food store up in Astoria, Oregon. Peppercorns and chili flakes, those are wonderful things to add to flavor. Cinnamon, nutmeg, Mediterranean blended spices, Himalayan salt, balsamic vinegars, lemons, figs. Make your own combination. Those are all things that you can add flavor to your cooking processes, your recipes. And as most of you know, and is in this book, I love the Young Living Vitality oils because they are ingestible. And I do a lot of cooking with those because they're very pure, they're organic, and they do just a drop adds a lot of flavor. They don't take up much room. And now that I live in a travel trailer and I go from city to city and help people take the certification course for coaching, I need to restrict my space and what I carry with me, and the vitality oils have just been fabulous. So if you're interested in those, get in touch with somebody on my team and we'll get you that information. But it's in the book. It's in the book. So go buy the book. It says everything that I'm telling you is in the book or comes out of the book, and then I'm commenting and adding more for my students. So I love you all. Bye-bye.